Hello and welcome to the Real Estate Regroup Show. I am your host, LJ Walker, a real estate investor helping you realize your dreams of owning a home or investing in one. I'm sure that many of you may have seen the recent article that was placed out regarding how many banks, or one bank in particular, may be prejudiced, if you will, towards African Americans when it comes to them wanting to have their homes refinanced. And then there was another article of a very famous person who wanted to have a bank transaction performed and was denied. Actually, the police was called on him. So I wanted to bring this to your attention. This is one of the reasons why I think many of us should really seriously, if we can afford to, think about investing in being a bank. You see, that type of investing is called mortgage note investing. And basically, typically you buy mortgage notes from a note broker. However, if you have a relationship with a bank, normally a small bank, of course, or even a credit union, you might be able to buy directly from them as well. By doing so, it allows you to do loan modifications, deferment. You can manipulate the loan any kind of way that's needed, be profitable, and at the same time, usually you're able to keep the person in their home. Because you see, banks typically only hold on to mortgage notes for 2 years and then they turn around and sell them. The other thing to note is this: being in this business since 2018, I've noticed that most of the notes that they sell are for homes that are owned by minorities. It could be a coincidence, it might not be. I have been told by many in the note business that have been doing it for much longer than me that they don't think that it's a coincidence. They believe that it is done on purpose and that it is a form of racism. And many of the people who have said that to me and who say it out loud are actually other white people. Okay? So when you do get into this business, don't be shocked that most of the notes that you buy are going to be on homes owned by other minorities. Now, of course, when you're buying it, you can't say, hey, I only want to buy homes owned by minorities, of course. And basically, the smart thing to do when you're buying a note is to buy whether or not you are going to be able to make money on the transaction, right? But let me go back to the main point. The main point is that when you are a mortgage note holder, you are able to keep people in their homes. You are able to make their home more affordable than it already is and still make money. So I just wanted to bring that out because a lot of people are looking at solutions, and I just felt as though because of the flexibility of being a mortgage note investor and because it's dealing with financing homes, I just figured that, hey, this is a great way in which to do it. Another thing to do, or another thing to consider is this: many people don't realize that lease purchasing, lease option, and owner financing, those are also considered notes as well. So if you buy a home, like I have done, rehab it, or even if you don't do a full gut rehab, but just make minor repairs, and then instead of renting it out, what you would do is you would look for someone who wants to be a homeowner, but maybe they can't, because you see, some banks will not give loans to people who have been to jail, right? So you can go ahead and target people who have a record. Because listen, there are people who have been out of jail for maybe 20, 30 years, stayed clean, make a lot of money, and yet the bank still won't lend to them because of their history. You can then turn around and do a lease option, a lease purchase, or owner finance to those particular individuals. That's a mortgage note. If that person runs into trouble, guess what you can do? You can also modify that particular loan that you have given to that person. And you can, when you modify the loan, it's not just necessarily either lowering the interest rate or lowering the payments. You lower the payments, but you also extend the amount of time in which they are paying you back on that particular loan. And in essence, actually, that allows you to make more money. Okay? So guys, think about it, do the math. And I am telling you that this is a definite way in which we can maintain home ownership among minorities, because even the few minorities who manage to buy property, unfortunately, they're not always able to keep property. There's a number of different reasons, of course, why that is. But yes, racism is still a real thing out here. And it is one way in which we can combat racism is by becoming mortgage note investors. All right. If you have any questions, just hit me up in the comments of the YouTube video. Or I do have a Facebook page called the Real Estate Regroup Show as well. You can send me a message there, but I'm normally more on YouTube, to be honest, than I am on Facebook. Okay? So guys, feel free to share this amongst your friends. Remember, each one reach one, teach one. Bye for now. Until next time, have a good night.